Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Talking Reds, another episode of Talking Stats. And today we have Brentford versus Liverpool. So, what I thought I'd look at would be the Brentford and Liverpool players compared to each other in terms of stats via our friends DataMB. So, I thought let's have a look at midfielders today. I think it's going to be an attacking game in terms of both teams. I think I predicted a 3-2 win for Liverpool in the Premier League predictions. But I said let's have a look at the midfielders and see how the stats are panning out in terms of them. And in terms of the way the midfields play, so Gravenberch will be matched with obviously with their DM, their defensive types of midfielder, and I'll see how the stats are backing up both sets of players. So midfield is broken down into certain sections, as always in talking stats, as always in our stats comparisons that DataMB do. They break it down into certain sections. So midfielder is broken down into duels percentage, obviously one. Defensive actions, progressive carries, forward pass percentage, key passes, progressive passes, and minutes played. But we won't look too much into the minutes played. So the percentile is based on the top 7 leagues in Europe. So if it's a high percentile, that means that they've got better stats in terms of across Europe of other midfielders. So if I was saying Gravenberch will be compared to midfielders that are in the Premier League, midfielders that are in Serie A, La Liga, all the top 7 leagues of other midfielders. And if he's got a high percentile, that means he's doing much better. The percentile is worked on the other ones. The percentage is obviously just a regular percentage. So that dual percentage would be out of 100, how many they would win their duels. So let's compare. We're going to compare Gravenberch with Janel, obviously for Brentford, who I'd say Janel is more their defensive side of player in that team. So I would compare him to him. So Gravenberch's dual success is 91%. Janel is 96%. So Janel is a very good. Always wins his duels. As you see, there's most of his duels he wins. Gravenberch is doing sensational for the position that he's playing in, and Gravenberch will have good defensive stats because of the position he's playing. He's getting involved in those defensive actions. So the defensive actions will be much better than his attacking actions. That is more. I've said it many times. That is more because of the role that he's playing in. Doesn't mean he's a defensive-minded midfielder. He's just an incredible midfielder that has been able to adapt this season to his game and playing it in a role that he's not used to playing in, but he's that good of a player and that good of a midfielder, he can do that easily and he can slot in there. So his defensive actions will match that. Dual success also 91 to 96, so not much difference in terms of those two there. Defensive actions for Gravenberch is 80.2 percentile, whilst Janel is 70.6. So Janel's doing quite well in terms of defensive actions, but Gravenberch again is sensational this season, absolutely sensational. He's stepped up massively in that position, and his stats are absolutely backing up what he's been doing this season. Progressive carries 80.9 percentile, and Janel is 15. Again, Janel's not a progressive carrier. Gravenberch is. This is what Gravenberch does. He likes to pick the ball up from midfield and run. He loves to get in a half turn and make space and run and make space for everyone else. This is what Gravenberch does. I think we'll see more of Gravenberch doing that if we had a defensive-minded midfielder next to him, someone like a Zubimendi, for example. But he's joining Arsenal. So, but you get my point. If we had a defensive-minded player next to him, I think we'll see much more progressive cards. I think he'll get more confident, more free to allow to do that the way he likes to play. But it just shows these stats here. Looking at Gravenberch, it just shows how complete of a midfielder he is for me, because his defensive stats are sensational, his forward stats are sensational. Even despite playing in a DM position. So going up to forward passes, Gravenberch is 77.2, Janel is 51.2, which is pretty decent for Janel. He is, if he's sat there, most of his passes are, more than half his passes are going forward. Whilst Gravenberch is 77.2, sensational stats again. Forward pass percentage is 79%. Janel is 21.8. So Janel, what that says to me there is he's not making many forward passes, Janel. So 21% of his passes are forward, but because he's better than halfway in terms of the percentile of the top 7 league, he's making his forward passes count. Which is very good. Most of his forward passes are quite high in the percentile in terms of the league. So Also, it also tells me that other teams have really, really defensive-minded midfielders where they're literally not making any foul passes at all in terms of that. So 79% for Gravenberch, most of his foul passes. Key passes 71.8, which is really high. Janelt is 85.8. So, like I said, he's making his passes count. 85.8 for key passes, sensational for that. Both of them progressive passes at 43.2 for Gravenberch and 41.8 for Janelt. Both quite similar in terms of the attacking side of things, really, apart from the progressive carries and the foul pass percentage. But what that tells me, both players are good on the ball in terms of passing wise anyway. They're good on the ball, they make the passes count. When they do pass forward, they make good key passes. Again, look, 85.8 for Janel's sensational percentile there for key passes. But Gravenberch is much more complete of a midfielder than Janel. He's playing a DM position which he's not used to, and his defensive actions are either matching or bettering Janel's, who's a defensive-minded sort of midfielder. But he's also got his progressive carries as well. Ryan Gravenberch, where he can dribble, he can pass, he can defend, he can do everything. A complete midfielder. Steven Gerrard-esque, is if you like to say. That's why I love players like Gravenberch. I've said it so many times. I love players like Gravenberch that can play anywhere. I love players like Steven Gerrard that can play anywhere. And I can adapt their game just like that because they're such an intelligent footballer. So then we're going to look at let's have a look. Let's have a look at Norgard. Let's compare Norgard to McAllister. I'd say they're quite similar players. McAllister and Norgard. McAllister percentage dual winning is 84.8. Norgard is 70.6. Defensive actions 88.9 for McAllister, 75.1 for Norgard. Both very, very similar players, box to box players. So you'll get good sort of attacking stats a little bit. As well as your good defensive stats as well. So, Norgard, 2.9 progressive carries, so he's not really carrying the ball very, very much at all. 50.8 for McAllister. McAllister's defensive action is very, very good at 88.9, by the way. To say the guy is box to box, you don't get back as much. 88.9 defensive actions is very, very good in terms of percentile. 50.8 progressive carries as well. It does like to carry the ball, but not as much as Gravenberch, as you can see there. Foul passes 64.6, whilst Norgard is 75.7. 39.5 foul pass percentage for Norgard. 80% for foul passes for McAllister. So that's 80%. 80% of his passes will go forward. Key passes 57.2, which is very, very high. Norgard is 13.4, which is very low for a player who does like to get forward now and then. He gets a goal every now and then as well. But 13.4 for key passes, not that very good at all for me. Progressive passes 60.5, and whilst Norgard is 58.0. So they are quite similar stats in terms of the defensive side of things, but going forward, I think Norgard definitely loses out to McAllister. But McAllister's a much, much better player, and he's gonna have better players around him that can get key passes too. He can make more space for him to get forward passes. So right now, our midfield is, well, as you see in the league, and as you see with your eyes, our midfield absolutely dominates this midfield, and these stats absolutely back it up. So going into today's game, I'm not worried about the midfield battle at all because the stats are backing up what we see with our eyes. And if you do like stats, like I said, if you do like to base your opinions on stats, then this episode is for you. But if you just like listen to stats anyway, I do like listening to them. I do like talking about them. But I base a lot of my opinion on my eye test. But like I said, I do absolutely love these episodes. I love how it's all broken down and see if they match what I'm seeing with my eyes. So let's compare now Szboszlai to Jensen. I do like Jensen. He's a decent player, but I think Szboszlai is levels above, and we're going to see that right now in terms of stats as well. I haven't looked at these yet, but we'll have a look at now. Dual percentage wins. So Szboszlai 51.8, 17.3 for Jensen, which is very, very poor. Again, there's only Janelt that's really winning duels in that midfield. That's really like on par with Liverpool. Norgard's not bad, but I think that midfield battle today is going to be absolutely key for Liverpool. I think if they win that, they should win the game. 37.5 percentile for defensive actions, whilst Jensen is 4.5. Again, not a defensive-minded player. He likes to get forward, but that's still poor for a midfielder. I think 4.5 is very, very poor for a midfielder. Then again, he hasn't got many minutes behind him, 614 minutes, which is less than half than the rest of them. So it could be down to that, but I still think it's very, very poor anyway for Jensen. Progressive carries 91.4 for Szboszlai as expected, 12.6 for Jensen. Forward passes 50 percentile for Jensen, 21 percentile for Szboszlai. But that, I think, with Szboszlai, his percentile for forward passes is 21, and it's really low. It's because of positioning. When he's in that position of DM, he's either looking to pass it sideways to the wingers, or sometimes to go backwards, sometimes, or carry it himself. He's very, very passes forward. If in a position of DM, you turn on the half turn. You're always looking forward. Most of your passes should be going forward or sideways. It's very rare you go backwards unless you use your defence. But not as often as you want to go forward. You always want to go forward. Teams always want to go forward. So forward pass percentage is 39.5 for Szboszlai, 31.3 for Jensen, 84.2 for Szboszlai for key passes, which is sensational. 88.3 for Jensen, again sensational. A guy that can pick out a good pass when he does make his passes. It's a very, very good pass. That's we need to look out for Jensen and on the ball, because, like I said, he's a very, very good passer. Szboszlai again is improved massively this season with his output and the way he's passing. He's making good progress on that. He's brilliant off the ball recently. He's been sensational on the ball as well. We're starting to see that now in the stats. 22.0 progressive passes and 87.0 progressive passes for Jensen. So Jensen is their player to watch out for in terms of on the ball, the one going forward. But I not even regarding the stats, I think our midfield absolutely dominates tomorrow. I think it's absolutely vital that we do that. If we win the midfield battle, I think we'll win the game. But what I worry about, I keep saying tomorrow because I'm recording it last night, but what I worry about today is their attack and their speed on the break, where they sort of bypass midfield. Maybe bypass midfield, might be long ball over the top, out wide. That's where I think Brentford will be absolutely threatening, where they bypass the midfield as much as they can. But they could set up very, very defensively tomorrow. They're not the most attacking midfielders there between Norgard, Jensen and Janel. So they could set up very, very defensive and just break on the counter-attack, which is probably worse for us. If they go 2-2 with us, though, I think that midfield absolutely gets battered, if I'm honest. And the stats absolutely back it up. Thank you for watching. I hope Liverpool do come out with a win today. That midfield battle is going to be an interesting watch. We've got to win it, and I think we will win it. Thank you for watching. If you like this sort of content, if you like the stats content, please like this video. Subscribe to the channel, so we do lots of different content, not just stats, not just predictions, not just match previews and match reactions. Do much more as Liverpool fans. And we also do Premier League sort of work as well, content as well, for every sort of fan that wants to come on. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, guys, and hope it ends on a Liverpool win.